Zara stood on the observation deck of the massive Catharian warship, her violet eyes fixed on the small blue planet below. As a commander in the Galactic Council's Enforcement Division, she had seen countless worlds fall before their superior technology. Earth would be no different. The humans had refused the Council's ultimatum to surrender their primitive weapons and submit to galactic law. Now they would face the consequences. Zara's 3 hearts beat steadily as she reviewed the battle plans. The human fleet was laughably small compared to their armada of 200 ships. Commander Zara, her aide approached with nervous energy. The human vessels are moving into position. She turned to face the tactical display. 37 human ships arranged themselves in a defensive formation around their homeworld. The largest vessel bore the designation Liberty. How fitting that they would name their flagship after such a naive concept. "Begin the attack," Zara ordered. The Catharian fleet moved forward like a wall of death. Their energy shields shimmered as they prepared to unleash devastating plasma cannons. The humans had no shields, no energy weapons worth mentioning. This would end quickly. But something unexpected happened. Instead of retreating or attempting to flee, the human ships accelerated directly toward the Catharian fleet. Zara's secondary eyes widened in disbelief. "Are they malfunctioning?" she asked her tactical officer. "No, Commander. They appear to be charging us." The first human ship, a small destroyer named Braveheart, opened fire with primitive kinetic weapons. The projectiles bounced harmlessly off Catharian shields, but the ship kept coming, engines at maximum burn. "What are they doing?" Zara whispered. Her answer came moments later. The Braveheart slammed into the lead Catharian dreadnought at full speed. Both ships exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The shockwave rocked nearby vessels on both sides. "Impossible," Zara breathed. They sacrificed themselves for nothing. But it was not nothing. The explosion had created a gap in the Catharian formation. 3 more human ships dove through the opening, their weapons blazing. They targeted the command ship's communication array before being destroyed by return fire. Zara watched in growing amazement as the pattern repeated. Human ship after human ship threw themselves against the vastly superior Catharian fleet. Each sacrifice served a purpose. Each death bought their comrades precious seconds or created tactical advantages. A medium cruiser called Boston Tea Party rammed the shield generator of a Catharian battleship, allowing 2 human fighters to slip through and damage its engines. A small frigate named Never Surrender used its own hull as a shield to protect a damaged human carrier as it limped away. "Commander," her aide's voice shook with fear. "We have lost 17 ships. The humans still have 12 vessels operational." Zara could not believe what she was witnessing. In 300 years of military service, she had never seen anything like this. Species across the galaxy surrendered when faced with overwhelming odds. They negotiated. They ran. They begged for mercy. They did not charge headlong into certain death with songs of defiance on their communication channels. "Status of their flagship," she demanded. "The Liberty is heavily damaged but still fighting. They are requesting surrender terms from us." Zara's mandibles clicked in astonishment. "They want us to surrender." "Yes, Commander. Their captain is demanding we withdraw from their system immediately or face continued resistance." The sheer audacity of it left Zara speechless. These humans had lost most of their fleet. Their planet was defenseless, and yet they were making demands of her. She opened a communication channel to the Liberty. The image that appeared on her screen showed a human female with short brown hair and determined eyes. Her uniform was torn and smoke filled the bridge behind her. "This is Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earth Defense Force," the human said. "You have 30 seconds to begin withdrawal or we will resume our attack." Zara leaned forward. "Captain Morgan, you have 12 ships left. We have 183. Your world is defenseless. Surrender now and we will show mercy." "Lisa?" Morgan smiled, and there was something terrifying in that expression. "Commander, you clearly do not understand humans. We would rather die free than live as slaves. Every man, woman, and child on Earth is prepared to fight you until the end. We will make this system so costly for you that other worlds will hear the story and know that freedom is worth any price. The communication ended. Zara stared at the blank screen as alarms began sounding throughout her ship. The remaining human vessels had resumed their attack with renewed fury. She watched a small patrol craft called Freedom Fighter ram itself into the engine core of a Catharian cruiser, taking both ships down in a massive explosion. The crew had exactly 12 seconds to realize they were going to die, and they spent those seconds singing something they called the Battle Hymn of the Republic. "Commander," her tactical officer reported, "the humans have launched their planetary defense systems. Thousands of missiles are incoming. They appear to be nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. Primitive, crude, and absolutely devastating in sufficient numbers. The humans were willing to irradiate their own system to stop the invasion." Zara watched the tactical display as wave after wave of missiles streaked up from Earth's surface. Her fleet's shields could stop them, but the sheer volume was staggering. These humans had turned their entire planet into a weapon, but it was not just the military resistance that shook her. Intercepted communications from the planet below revealed something even more disturbing. Human civilians were not fleeing to shelters or begging for protection. They were volunteering for military service, donating their personal aircraft to the defense forces, and organizing resistance cells for guerrilla warfare. She heard a recorded message from someone called President Amanda Hayes, broadcast to the entire planet. "My fellow humans, today we face our greatest test, but I have seen the courage in your hearts and I know we will not yield. Every free person in the galaxy is watching. Let us show them what humanity truly means." The broadcast was followed by something called the Star-Spangled Banner, sung by millions of voices across the planet. The sound sent chills through Zara's exoskeleton. "Commander," her aide approached again, "we have received a priority message from the Council. They are confused by our delay in securing the system." Zara turned away from the tactical display. "Tell the Council that the humans are not like other species. They do not surrender. They do not retreat. They fight until the very last breath, and they do it with joy in their hearts. 3 more human ships sacrificed themselves to destroy a Catharian supply vessel." The explosion lit up space like a newborn star. In the communications chatter from the dying ships, Zara heard laughter. They were laughing as they died. For the first time in her life, Zara began to question the righteousness of the Galactic Council's mission. She had always believed they brought order to chaos, civilization to barbarism. But what if they were wrong? What if there was something more valuable than order, something worth dying for? She thought about her own people, the Catharians. When faced with superior force, they had joined the Council willingly. They had traded their independence for security and prosperity. It had seemed like the logical choice at the time, but she had never seen a Catharian willing to die for an ideal. She had never heard her people sing as they marched into battle against impossible odds. The humans possessed something her advanced civilization had lost long ago, and she was beginning to understand what it was. The final human ship, the Liberty, drifted powerless in space. Its engines were dark, its weapons silent, its hull breached in a dozen places. But Captain Morgan was still alive, still broadcasting on all frequencies. To anyone listening, the human captain said, "Remember that we fought here today. Remember that humans chose freedom over slavery, death over surrender. We may fall, but the idea of liberty will survive. It cannot be conquered, cannot be destroyed, cannot be forgotten. Other worlds will hear our story and know that resistance is possible." Zara found herself moving toward the communication console before she realized what she was doing. She opened a channel to her fleet. "All ships, this is Commander Zara. Cease. Fire immediately. Begin withdrawal from the system." The bridge fell silent. Her officers stared at her in shock. "Commander," her second-in-command stepped forward, "the Council ordered us to pacify this world." Zara looked at the image of the damaged Liberty on her screen. The Council was wrong. These humans have shown us something we had forgotten. They have reminded us what it means to be truly alive. She turned to face her crew. We came here to conquer a primitive species. Instead, we have witnessed the birth of a legend. Every species in the galaxy will hear about the humans who fought an entire fleet with 37 ships and refused to surrender. They will wonder if they too could find such courage. Her aide's voice was barely a whisper. What will we tell the council? Zara straightened her shoulders. We will tell them the truth. We will tell them that some things are worth more than peace. Some principles are worth dying for. And sometimes the primitive species has something to teach the advanced civilization. She opened a final communication to Captain Morgan. Captain, you have won something far greater than a battle. Today, you have won respect. Lisa Morgan's image appeared on screen. Bate,